All right, here in the first section, St. John's Country Day runs in lane 2. Jay out of the Panhandle in lane 3. Circle Christian, their first time at state, in lane 4. Benjamin, which is actually the number 1 seed as far as the regionals go, in lane number 5. First Academy is 6. Westminster Academy in lane 7. And Montverde Academy in lane 8. I know you've seen a lot of these girls run before.
Yeah, it looks like lane 2 right now is empty. That's St. John's Country Day, and here they come running across the track. They are going to get on the line, and we will have a full complement. Lane 1's going to be empty. You know, that's kind of nice starting off for this first 800. It's a 9-lane Mondo track. This is IAF certified, and they're going to keep lane 1 empty. We will have a total of 8 teams in this first section, and just like you mentioned, fastest time coming in, 10:11 for Benjamin. They'll be down in lane 5, and both these sections will be run against time, so it's really important to run as fast as you can in this first section and hopefully get a podium spot when it's all said and done after Section 2 takes the track.
And First Academy had the next best time. They're in the lane right next to them in lane 6 with a 10:12. So we're about ready to get started with the 4x800 meter relay, the girls' side. And then Section 1 followed by Section 2. Section 2 will be a lot of fun. We'll get to see some pretty quick girls. But this one will be fun as well. So looking forward to it, and we're about to get started. Dr. Bob, your thoughts here on this 4x800 relay?
Well, it's going to be really interesting. This is probably a little bit of a step up for a lot of these athletes. Maybe a lot of them have not competed at a state meet before. They've made it through the state series, and they've got this far. They deserve to be out on the track. You know, they're probably feeling a little bit nervous right now. As they get ready, you can see some of them moving around just a little bit antsy. They know what they need to do, and that is run as fast as they can, try and get a podium spot, help their team out with points. They may be looking for a PR. They may be looking for a personal goal. And I think Section 1 is underway, and we'll run them down real quick. Lane 2, that will be St. John's Country Day. Lane 3 will be Jay. Lane 4, Circle Christian. Lane 5, Benjamin. Lane 6, First Academy. Lane 7 will be Westminster Academy. And Lane 8, Montverde. You know, I had a chance to talk to the Montverde girls last weekend after they qualified for state, and they came out of the first section at the regional. So they are very familiar with what it's going to take to maybe step it up a notch and try and get a podium spot here as we're underway with the girls 4x800 meter relay. Coming through the 200 meter mark right around 36 seconds flat. So right around 72, right around 224 pace for the ladies. And that looks like St. John's Country Day. They were down in now lane 2 with the lead at this point.
Well, they got that good start because they had to run across the field, so the blood was already pumping.
Yeah, they're ready to go.
So now as we come here on the near side of Hodges Stadium, again, St. John's Country Day, right there in front in lane 2. But lane 3, Jay, Circle Christian in lane 4.
And that is Danae Chapman just off the right-hand shoulder of the leader. Only an 8th grader out of Circle Christian as they come through the first 200, or first 400 rather, in right around 76 seconds. So it looks like St. John's Country Day on the inside with Circle Christian, Danae Chapman, just off her right-hand shoulder. We're just about 500 meters into the first leg of the girls 4x8 in Section 1.
Again, a beautiful day here at Hodges Stadium on the campus of the University of North Florida. Other events taking place other than the running events, which we'll be carrying to you courtesy of Play On Sports, but we'll also try to recap later today what's taking place in the other events as well.
And now we've got some movement. We've got a new leader down the backstretch, 200 meters to go on this leg. Danae Chapman out of Circle Christian hanging tough in second, and it looks like St. John's Country Day has fallen back into 4th. Oh, they don't have hip numbers on, apparently for the 4x8. So we'll take our best guess as they come up. 100 meters to go to the first exchange. Danae Chapman now moving up to possibly take the lead after this first exchange.
Boy, they're neck and neck, too.
So right around 2:31 thereabouts for the first leg of this girls 4x8. You know, the fastest time in the state for 1A, 9:27:33. That's Providence. We'll get a chance to see him in Section 2. And the fastest time in the nation for the girls 4x8 was run just recently at the Penn Relays, 9:04:21. It's absolutely fast. Fayetteville Manulus throwing down a really fast time. FM 9:04:21.
Yeah, just to follow up on Providence, a 9:27. They are the defending cross-country champions right here in Jacksonville, the Stallions. And a pretty big lead as we come around the turn here on the near side.
Yeah, that lead has opened up now to about 20 meters or so. This is really important. You want to give every runner an opportunity to get as big a lead as they can. That way, if they need to back off the gas a little bit, especially if they're running a race later on this evening, give them that opportunity, especially on the anchor leg. We've really seen some fast 800s throwing down in the state and some really fast 4x8s. American Heritage, they've already gone 9:13.77 and have the fastest time in the state regardless of classification. We'll get a chance to see them tomorrow.
Just came around that turn at 3:42. So a nice lead, but as you mentioned, pacing is important at this point.
Yeah, pacing is really important, especially if you don't want to go out too fast. It's kind of hot down there. The fastest way to run a good 800 is, if you're running a relay, is probably by splits. Make it as even as you can, a nice sustained effort all the way around. And that lead now is starting to open up to about 50 meters. And a good battle back for second, third, and fourth. There's only about 5 meters separating 2, 3, and 4 at this point, and then 20 meters back to 5 and 6. So here's a team that is out front by probably about 50 meters. They know that they've got to run a fast time because they've got Section 2 that'll be coming up on the track next.
Westminster in third right now. And you mentioned the distance.
So just like we thought, Benjamin coming across right around 5 minutes flat, so averaging around 2:30. Benjamin out in front. They come in with the fastest seed once again, 10-11. And maybe we'll get a chance to see First Academy start to eat in that lead a little bit. A lot of times you'll find some of the faster runners on your relay team, depending on which the coach desires, may put them in the first leg or the second leg, and other teams will be really making up the distance for that third and fourth runners.
That Benjamin team consisting of Anna Dwyer, Riley Burke, Rachel Harris, and Meredith Anderson. First Academy, Brooke Graham, Kendall Barker, Anna Kate Horton, and Kirsten Gallivan.
Well, now we're starting to see a little bit of momentum change. If you take a look at the leg turnover on the fourth, third, and second runners, maybe just a little bit faster than our leader right now in Benjamin as she comes across 6:15 with a lap to go. So hopefully this race is going to kind of tighten up a little bit. What you really want to see in a 4x8 is that last anchor leg, everybody fighting, everybody coming down the home stretch together, going as fast as they can to maybe try and get on the podium out of this section. We've got Section 2 coming up with some really, really fast teams.
Yeah, you can kind of sense she's gaining ground now from second.
Yeah, you can just see the leg turnover. We've got 250 meters to go on this leg, and we're going to have a new leader. Benjamin will fall back into second. Well, luckily they've got a little bit of breeze down on the track. This is a really, really nice facility once again. One of the things that these runners need to be cognizant of over the next couple of weekends is the rail that goes all the way around the track. Sticks up a couple of inches. You really don't want to hurt an ankle or sprain an ankle being up against that rail. And coming back now with 40 meters to go. A little bit of a resurgence here.
Yeah. Again, it was Benjamin in First Academy at regionals. Benjamin with the best time, 10:11. First Academy right there behind him at 10:12.
So right around 7:36, and that distance back to second is only about a second and a half right now. The race really is for 1 and 2, and it's a good 80 meters back to number 3 and then 10 meters back to number 4.
We see one of the girls here on the near sideline cramping up. That with the heat, that's going to be an issue, and keeping hydrated will be important today.
Hopefully these runners have been taking care of that before they got to the meet today. You know, a lot of coaches will tell them, hey, I want you to get a lot of rest the week of state. I want you to get a lot of nutrition and a lot of fluids. Kind of avoid cramping up here. It's going to be a long day for a lot of these 4x8 runners. Well, we're starting to have a good race now, just exactly like we wanted. Still only about a second or so separating the first two teams.
At 8.5 minutes now.
And they do have their hip numbers on. They're up on their shoulders, which makes it kind of nice. They're up nice and high. So a good race between Benjamin and First Academy. You know, there's only about a second that separates these two coming out of the regionals. Benjamin's starting to stretch it out now. Benjamin with the lead, right around 300 meters to go. First Academy, they are really going to have to step it up here. The last 300, maybe try and close the gap on Benjamin. It's a good ways back to number 3. It's a good 70 or 80 meters. But, you know, we take a look at a lot of times at the front of the pack and who's actually leading the race. But they're races within races. If you take a look back right now at 3, 4, and 5, you can actually see that's where these runners know that they're going to try and fight for every spot, get every point that they can, and maybe just edge out the runner that they're competing against. So 100 meters to go, coming off the final turn. Looks like Benjamin is going to win it. The question is, what's their time going to be, and is it going to be good enough to get a podium spot at the completion of Section 2? And this is going to be a good time for Benjamin. They came in with 10-11 out of the regional meet.
And they're going to beat that time, Dr. Bob.
Yeah, 9:55 for Benjamin. First Academy will get second. And that's a huge, huge PR for Benjamin. They'd gone 10-11 previously, and they get the time and the win in Section 1 as the rest of the girls finish up.
So again, Benjamin, your winner with a time of 9:56.14, followed by First Academy at 10:04.32. Westminster Christian third at 10:15.39, followed by Circle Christian at number 4. Jay is 5th. St. John's Country Day is 6th.
And you know, that is